something very important. Let me check subnet IPv4 and check this one. Yeah, this one is quite interesting. Lab 11.5.5. So here we have a network. Please confirm if you can hear me and if you see my screen, please.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. I can hear you, and I can see your screen as well.
Thank you very, very, very much. Okay, so this is a lab. We have a customer router that is connected to the ISP, let's say MTN or Telecom. And that ISP is connected to a ISP switch and ISP workstation, ISP server. By the client side, the customer router, we have LAN 1 with PCA and LAN B. So now here, we need in LAN A, we need 50 hosts only. And LAN B, we need 40 hosts only. So first thing first, let us do a quick revision of what we did last time. Um, so I'm going to, yeah. So let's say this is something we did last time. We have such IP address /25. And the question is, in which smaller network this IP belongs to? It's like your house, you divide it in 6 sections. And you did put some tenant, section A, B, C, D, E. Now, someone comes and says, I belong to your house, to one of your sections. So based on what you're going to say, okay, you belong to section A, or you belong to small room A or room B, room C, room you see. So if you have an IP or any individual, the subnet mask will identify, will help us to know in which smaller network he belongs to, in which smaller room he belongs to. So guidance, we identify the class, we see it class C because it starts with 192. Identify the default subnet mask for class C is /24. If you say /24, it means in binary, it's all ones. We have 24 ones. Now, find the bit borrowed. So /25 minus 24, it means we borrowed 1 extra from the host. So if you borrow 1 from the host, it means we divided our network in smaller network. So how many smaller network? Identify how many smaller network. We do 2 to the power of bit borrowed. So here, 2 to the power of 1 is 2. So we have 2 smaller networks. We have 2 smaller networks. Now we need to identify them. We need to list the small networks based on the magic number. So because we have two smaller networks, we know class C, the first three blocks never change. So we keep them. And we always know that the first network starts with 0. Now how to find the following one is what we call the magic number. So we take, you see, this one, we put here and we say the last one falls in 128. It means everything will be 0 plus 128 plus 128 plus 128. So here, because we have two smaller networks, here are they. And last time we did find the first valid host. We do the network plus 1. We broadcast for that network. You do the next 1 minus 1. And the last valid host, you do the broadcast minus 1. So last time we did focus on how many smaller networks. Now, there is something here. How many hosts per smaller networks we have? So this one, which color is nice. So to find that number is 2 to the power of remaining bit minus my minus 2. So this is the formula. 2 to the power of remaining bit minus 2. So here we did borrow 1 bit. How many bits remaining? 7. So we do 2 to 7 minus 2 equal. So you take your calculator. Oh, no. Cal. So do here 2 to the power of 7 equal 128. We have 126 hosts per smaller networks or subnet. That's why here you see, for example, for the first network, we start from 1 and it's going to end by 126. It means between 10.1 until 10.126, we can assign any number to a host. So this one is very important. Now I'm going to show you a table. Useful table. So I'm going to put it here, insert, I say class C. Insert table, yeah. So here I'd say, for example, if it's /24, /25, /26, /27, /29, /30. Subnet, bits borrowed, number of networks, number host the network, and yeah. So guys, so if I say /24, how many bits did I borrow for class C? Today is whose day? Last time it was last time it was okay, Tendresse, fine. Anyway, okay, no. And let me leave you for today. Mrs. Kotiane, no, let us leave her for today. Zianda, let me leave her. Jacobs, Mr. Keegan, today is Keegan's day. So Engineer Keegan, we say you're a network engineer and you need to design these things. So I'm in a class C. Too much. I'm in class C. So what is the formula to find the bit borrowed? To find it. So if you see /24, okay, let me do here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is a default subnet mask for a class C. Oh no, go back. So we are here. How many bits do we have? 24. Did I borrow anything from the host? No. So if it's /24, the default subnet mask, we didn't borrow anything. We borrowed 0. Number of network is 2 to the power of bit borrowed. If I say bit borrowed, I'm going to put it small. So here, 2 to the power of 0 is 1. So it means if I have a default subnet mask, how many network I have? I only have one network. Number of hosts per network, because I didn't borrow, I still have my 8-bit here. So 2 to the power of 8. 2 to the power of 8, 156. 256 host. You see. Now, if I start borrowing 1 bit, if this is /25, it means I borrowed one extra. It means I borrowed one. Number of network, 2 to the power of 1. It will be 2. And so if I borrow 1 here, you see, 2 to the power of 1 bit borrow is 2. How many bits remaining? 7. So 2. So here, the formula is 2 to the power of remaining bits minus 2. So here, if I borrow 1, remaining bits will be 7. So I come here, 2 to the power of 7, 128 minus 2 is 126. And put here 126. Oh, you see? So if it's /26, it means I have my 24 here plus 2. It means I borrowed 2. Number of bits borrowed. I borrowed 2. If it's /27, it means I borrowed 3. /28, I borrowed 4. 29, I borrowed 5. And I borrowed 6. And you do the same thing. So /26, I borrowed 2 bits. Number of networks I have, 2 to the power of 2, it will be 4. So if I borrow 2, the remaining is 6. So to find the host, I do 2 to the power of 6 minus 2 is 62 hosts per subnet. I continue. If I borrow 3 bits, /27, it means I have my 24 here, and I'm going to add to borrow 3 here. 1, 2, 3. You see, to make them 27. So if I borrow 3, how many smaller network? 2 to the power of bit borrow. So 2 to the power of 3, it will be 8. So if I borrow 3, the remaining here is 5. So then you do 2 to the power of 5 minus 2, 30 hosts. If I borrow 4 bits, 2 to the power of 4, 16 smaller networks. And so if I borrow 4, The remaining will be 4. Then I do 2 to the power of 4 minus 2. So I have 14 hosts per smaller networks. And you do the same thing for /5. Okay, we do it again. 2 to the power of 5. I have 32 hosts, 32 smaller networks. If I borrow 5, the remaining is 3. 2 to the power of 3 minus 2, 6 hosts per smaller network. If I borrow 6 bits, 2 to the power of 6, I have 64 smaller network. So if I borrow 6, the remaining bit is 2. Then I do 2 to the power of 2 minus 2, 2 hosts. So guys, this one is extremely important and useful. Let me put it down. I don't know how to do this game. Yeah. So I give you 2 minutes to have a look on it. And if you have any questions, let me know. So we have class C. The default subnet mask is here. And yeah. So check this. We're going to use it a lot also.
So are we getting this in the exams?
It's a very good question. Who is laughing there?
It's Useni, it's Wema, sorry.
That's good to laugh now, because the D-Day, it will be something else.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to use this one to do our lab.
Okay.
So guys, here, for example, we say we need 50 hosts.
Sure.
So if you need 50 hosts, oh, I'm lost, man. Which subnet are you going to take? Which slash are you going to take?
I will take 30.
/30.
Yeah.
/30.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's covering a lot.
What is a lot?
Because it's got a lot of if I may say it, compared to the others.
So what is the question? The question is, I need something to accommodate 50 hosts. Where are you going to look at? Here, bit borrowed or number of hosts per network?
Oh, I see. It's host per network, so it should be 26/26.
Very good.
Okay.
Because if it takes /24, it will accommodate 256. It's too much. I need only 50. If I take /25, I could accommodate 126. It's too much. I need only 50. If I take slash 26, I can accommodate 62. My 50 is close to there. If I say slash 27, I could accommodate only 30. It's too small. Then I have to take this guy here. If I need 50 hosts, at least I have a maximum of a capacity of 62. So if I have 50, it's fine. I'm not wasting some IP addresses. So now the second one, I need 40 hosts. What will be your answer? 40.
It will be slash 26 again.
Very good.
It's
the
it's
same.
not 30, you said.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Oh,
26.
I thought it's 30.
26. Okay, now if I say I need 20 hosts.
If you need 20 hosts, we go for 27.
Very good. Because I cannot go for slash 28. If you take slash 28, the maximum is 14. Me, I need 20 at least. So I go to the upper one. If I say slash 27, the maximum is 30. At least my 20 are inside. I can use my 20 and I have maybe 10 remaining. But I cannot take slash 28 because in that room I have only 14 bedroom, 14 beds. Me, I have 20 guests. You see. So if I say slash 27, here at least per bedroom I have 30 beds. So my 20 hosts, my 20 guests can fit there. You see. So check again one more minute. If you have questions, please ask. Okay, we continue. So this is the question stuff. So we have our addressing table. We have a router, LAN switch, LAN B switch with PCs and all this information. So objectives, part 1, design an IPv4 network subnetting scheme. Part 2, configure the devices. Part 3, test and troubleshoot the network. So 2 minutes, yourself read the background and we start. Okay, so in this activity, you have to subnet the customer network in multiple subnets. The subnet scheme should be based on the number of host computers required in each subnet. After you created a subnetting scheme, complete the table by filling the missing host IP. So what does it mean? It means here, we're going to do our subnetting, assign a IP to PC A, a IP to PC B, and ping each other. So part one, subnet the assigned network. Step one, create a subnetting scheme that meets the required number of subnets and the required number of host address. In this scenario, you are a network technician assigned to install a network for a customer. You must create multiple subnets out of this one. So we'll give you this one, and from there, we work on it. So I'm going to take it, copy. I open this guy here, down here. I put it here. I copy A, B, C. This one is the most difficult part in for your exam. So if you understand this, it's finished. Anything else is easy. So they gave us this. So it's like this is a res, and we say, okay, you must separate female network to male network, female bedrooms to male bedrooms. How many smaller bedroom for female you're going to put, and how many females you can put in each bedroom. For the male section, how many bedroom for males, and how many bed per bedroom are you going to put? It's the same thing. Or in a company, you have an IP, and you have a lot of department, finance, accounting, IT, security, cleaning. So you need to divide in smaller networks, in smaller offices, and put employees per smaller office. You see, the same thing. So here, the first subnet is a LAN network. LAN network. You need a minimum of 50 hosts. So this one is a class C. Then we come here. This is our class C. We say we need a minimum of 50 bed. So if we take /27, the maximum is 30. If we take /26, the maximum is 62. So it's fine here. So we can use /26 here. So we come here and we say with /26, we get 62 hosts per smaller network or subnet. Sometimes we call it subnet. So now if you have slash 26, what does it mean? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have our 24, 25, 26. So here we have our 26 bits, 26 ones. If you convert this one in decimal, it will be 255. No, yeah. Here also will be 255. Here also will be 255. Now you see, now here we need to convert it in decimal. So we can see the first one is 128. The second one is what is 64. So if you do your table, if you put in your table, we'll see that the first one will be 128, and the second one will be 64, and it should be 192. So this is the subnet mask in decimal. If you want to copy the screen, please feel free to copy, but I'll give you a chance to, so when it's clean to do so. So you can say /26 or this subnet mask. So now, if it's 2, it means we borrowed 2 from the what? From the host. So we do the same thing. Number of smaller networks. So 2 to the power of 2. 4 smaller network. It's very easy, huh? It just because it's the first time, it looks difficult. But when you copy the screen and you do the same thing many times, you will see that it's easy. Identify these 4 smaller network. So in my example here, it starts with because it's class C, the first 3 blocks never change. And always for a network, it starts with a 0 first. Then, what will be the other ones? Because we see we have 4. These are the 4. The first one always starts with a 0. The second one will be what? It will be based on the magic number. Magic number is what? So if you want, you insert your table. (128), 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 2 here, and here 1. So because I borrowed 2 bits from the host, it will be here 1, 1. You see, so for the host side, you put it in your table here, and you check the last one. It's here. It means this is my magic number. It means all these networks will be added plus 64 plus 64. So here will be 64. 64 plus 64. 128 plus 64.
I said you've lost me now. I am not sure. I thought maybe I was following this thing, but I'm lost.
Okay, let me finish first, then you can ask your question now. Maybe while I'm doing. So it means we say we need a minimum of 50 hosts. And for that, we can say that if we take /26, we can have 60 hosts per smaller network. 60 hosts per smaller network. Now, here, we are trying to identify these 4 networks based on this /26. And from here, it means if I take this network, I have a maximum of 64 hosts there. If I take this one, I have a maximum of 64, you see. So now, here, I need to find the first valid host, the last valid host, and what. For example, here, first valid host, last valid host, and broadcast. So who can tell me here what will be the value of the first valid host? The first valid host, we take the network plus 1. So here will be 1. To find the broadcast, you do the next subnet minus 1. So 64 minus 1, it will be 63. Now to find the last host, it's the broadcast minus 1. It will be 62. So that means if I take this network, /26, this is the host, this is the IP addresses I can assign to the host between 0.1 until 0.62. Now, it means if I'm here in LAN A, if I need to assign an IP address to PCA, I could come here and grab one of them. Always the very first one, we reserve it for the default gateway. Default gateway. The very first one, we reserve it for it. For the router. It means for PCA, so I can say you see 190, 192.68.0.2, this guy I can assign to PCA, you see PCA IP address. Then I go here, I go to my PCA, I open my desktop, I come here, then I can assign 192.168.0.2 to make sure that it's correct. You see, .2 for PCA. From here, now, what is the subnet mask? /26. We said /26 is what? 255, 255, 255, 192. Because /26 always ones, if I convert in decimal, this is how it is. So now here, it will end with 192. What will be the default gateway? As we said, the very first one, we assign for the default gateway. 192.168.0.1. 192.168.0.1 to the default gateway. This is why we do subnetting. To divide a big office in smaller offices. How many smaller offices we can get? How many employees we can put in these small offices? And from there, what IP address we can assign to them. We are done with subnetting. If you understand this one, do it many times, we have sorted that all. So if I close it, how many percent we get already? We have 8% already. By putting an IP address in PCA only, we have 8%. No worries. And let me try to finish a bit, then I'm going to repeat myself, or if you have questions. So this network, and the very first one for LAN A. Now we see the second subnet is LAN B network. You need a minimum of 40 IP addresses. And we did check, even if we need 40, it will same /26. You see. So here we are sorted. The very first subnet, we gave it to LAN 1. Now for LAN B, we can use the second one because we still have these 40 hosts are still covered. So I take it here. I put it here. Sorry. This one, LAN B. And from here, we need to find first valid host. Don't forget with /26. If not, sometimes we forget with /26. From here, we also need to find the first valid host. So what is the value of the first valid host? The first valid host, we take the network plus 1. Here it will be 65. To find the broadcast, we take the next network minus 1. So it will be 128 minus 1 is 127. And to find the last host is broadcast minus 1, 126. It means the first host, 05, we can assign to a router. And the next one, so 65, 66, 67 until 126. So the next one, 66, I can assign to PCB. Then if I go to my PCB, I open my PCB, desktop, IP configuration. What IP is there? 192.60, you see, 0.66. 192.168.0.66. Subnet mask, we say /26. So /26 is what? 255, 192. So 255 is there, 255 is there, 255. The last one should be 192. And because always the very first one, we are assigned to a default gateway. So our default gateway will be 0.65. So have a look. Then I continue a bit. After that, so after doing that, how many percent we got? We got 17% already. If I go to check results, assessment item, PCA IP, default gateway, see it's check green. Subnet mask, but he says IP address incorrect. Fast Ethernet. Yes, I didn't activate yet. Yeah, so I didn't activate yet, so I'm going to activate a bit later. But already we can see some improvement. So now we have to go to our router and do config because you see it's red. So I click on my router, or I go to options, preference, always show port label. So it's gig 00. So gig 00 is facing LAN A. And we said for LAN A, the default gateway is this one. So this one will be the IP address of gig 00. So I open my router, command line interface. No worries for that. Even if we need to repeat on Saturday, we'll do. No? So today is what? I thought today was a Thursday. No, Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday. Okay. Enable conft do show IP interface brief. So I can see my gig 00 here and assign. There is no IP for now. I need to assign. So I go to interface. And the ladies team, for what we did on Saturday and last Saturday, to activate a interface, I go to the interface. I add the IP address 192.168.0.1. Where I get this one from? It's from my subnetting stuff for LAN A. /26, subnet mask 255.192. Then no shut. You see, I exit. I go to the other interface, G01, and it will how do you call it? The default gateway for LAN B. So I go there. Interface G01. IP address. What is the IP address? I take it from my subnetting. LAN B, what is LAN B? I did everything here. This is, so 0.65 will be the IP for 192.168.0.65/26.255.192. If you make a mistake on the subnet mask, it's finished. Everything's wrong. No shutdown. And copy, run, start. Show IP interface brief. Now you can see that my IPs are there and we are all up. So you know now how to activate a interface. You go to the exact name of that interface, you add the IP address and no shut or no shutdown. How much we have, how much we get. We have 43% already. See, we even didn't do anything down here. We already have 43%. Check results, assessment items. Everything's fine. So PCA, fast Ethernet. Okay, depend on what you're asking. Okay, at least so you understand how it works. So I'll give you 5 minutes and to have a look. If you want to copy, start copying, starting from here. Then I give you 5 minutes to have a look and we continue. So I think you copied this one already. Yes, no? Or no? Then yeah, you can also copy this. Okay, have a look. I'll be back in 2 minutes. If you have some questions, you can prepare them also. So please go through the packet tracer, the exam, and try to do it yourself based on that. I'll be back in 5 minutes, and 5 minutes only. Thank you. So try do it yourself. Go to the packet tracer, add IP address, and check if all good. Okay, guys, we continue. What we're doing is extremely important. Your exam will be also based on that. So what we did last Saturday in class, basic routing configuration, physical mode, subnetting, all this stuff will be for your exam. So we continue. We say the first subnet is the LAN network. You need minimum of 50 hosts, IP addresses we did. The second subnet is the LAN B network. We need a minimum of 40 host IP address we did. You also need at least 2 additional unused subnet for future network. It's fine. It means we did use the very first network for LAN A, it's fine. We did use the second LAN, the second subnet for LAN B, it's fine. So these two, we keep them for future expansion. So if we become bigger, you can use them. That is C. Now D, answer the following question to help create subnetting. How many host addresses are needed in the largest request subnet? Okay, how many host addresses are needed in the largest request subnet? Okay, 62. What's the minimum number of subnet required? So if it's /26, it means we did borrow 2 from the bits. So how many smaller networks? We have 4. 4 smaller networks. And the network that you are tasked to subnet is this. Okay, we did. What is /24 subnet mask in binary? So /24, it means I have 24 ones. So it's 1111s, 111s, and to subnet mask in the 2 portion. In the network mask, what do ones represent? The network. In the network mask, what do 0 represents? Okay, the 0 represents the host. I don't know why we ask this one, so this one, forget about it. To subnet and network bit. Okay, so here we're trying to guide you a bit. If we say /25, it means I borrowed 1 bit from the host. So it's exactly what we did before, you see. So if you go through this one, it's exactly what we did at the beginning. Okay. Now, fill in the missing IP in the addressing table. What is our addressing table? We have a lot of the switch. We need to assign IPs. Router, you see interface. We need to assign IPs and subnet mask and all this stuff. So we'll take them from our subnetting. So assign IP address based on assign the first subnet to LAN A. You see. So we said we have 4 subnets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we say we must use the first one to LAN A. So be careful. Sometimes we can say use the third one. So if you start doing the way I did, and now we say third one, you need to do again. See? So be careful. We did find the 4. The first one we say it's for LAN A, it's fine. Assign the second subnet to LAN B. It's what we did. At least we sorted. Now, use the first host address in the customer router interface to connect to LAN A switch. It's what we did. G00 is the customer router interface connected to the LAN. We did the configuration. Use the second host on LAN A switch. Use the second host for the LAN A switch. Make sure the assign default gateway. So you see. Now use the last host for PCA. You see. So for us, they say the second one here should be for the switch. You see. Switch A. But at least we understand how it works. And the last host to PCA. So this is the last valid host. Then our PCA will be this. See. So be careful in the question paper. I'm going to put it in blue. Then I go to the PCA, it should be 62. That's why in our question paper, if you go to check results and you go to PCA, you see the IP address is incorrect because we didn't put the 62, the correct one. We did put a good one, but it's not what the exam paper wants. So we go back, IP configuration, and we change 62 here. That's all. We close it. Subnet mask, it's fine. The same thing, /26 is fine. Default gateway, we say the very first IP address, it's fine. We close it. If you go to check results, and you go to PCA, you see, now everything is correct for PCA. Because we did follow the requirement. Now they say the second one of that network is for switch A. So we need to configure switch A. So we go to the switch. So for now, we can see that network, customer router, port, LAN. Okay, we can close this one. We go to the switch and we configure. Command line interface. What do we do? Enable conft interface VLAN 1 IP address. We say the second one. Then we come here is 0.2. You see 192.168.0.2. Subnet mask 255. 255.192. No shut. We exit, and we need to add the default gateway. So IP default gateway, and we just need to add the IP address of the router. 0.1. That's all. Do copy, run, start. And we are done for this switch. Percentage We have 60% already. So we are done with this part. We go now to a second subnet for LAN B. Use the first host for the customer router interface. It's what we did. Always use the very first host to the default gateway. Use the second host for the switch and use the last for PCB. So we go back to our stuff. So the second one, so the first one is 65, the second one 66. This one is for the switch B. And the last valid host I can assign, this one will be for the PCB. When it's clear like that, everything you do is correct. So we did configure the router interface already. We go to a switch 0.66. Enable conft IP VLAN 1. Interface VLAN 1, IP address 192.168.0.66. We save the subnet mask 255.255.192. No shutdown. Anytime you do an interface, you go to an interface, you add the IP, the subnet mask, and no shutdown. This is how we configure an interface. Okay, now the first thing, enough for PCB. PCB should be 126. So here I say duplicate because PCB 126. I go to fix that. I fixed. And I go to my switch. Okay. Now I'm going to configure the default gateway IP. It's the same thing. Always, everything I'm doing here, it's the same thing within the labs. The same thing will ask you for your exam. That's all. IP default gateway. Now I go to my table. You see, for the default gateway 0.65. Do copy, then start. Okay, so how much we got? %82 already. See, now we have to do the basic configuration, the password to protect what, you see. So if you do that, you have 80% and you have 18%. See. So now we have 82%. It means everything we did is correct. Part 2, configure the devices, configure the customer router, enable secret password, should be class 123. So I go to the router, enable secret, conft, enable secret, Cisco 123. You must do exactly the same way it's written. It's class 123. See, I made a mistake. Class 123. The console password to Cisco 123. So line console 0, password Cisco 123, login, exit. This one we did it and and 2 Saturdays ago. So configure the customer router as the host name. So now we tap host name to change the name. And we tap exactly how it is. Do copy, run start to save, you continue. We're almost done in 10 minutes. Normally we are done. But it's good to finish this one so that you can do it many times yourself. It's very helpful. Configure G01 and G00 interfaces. Okay, this one we did. Save. Okay, we did. Configure IP address on interface VLAN on the 2 LAN switches. We did. So you see here we have 100% already down here. 100%. So we are done, guys. Anything else? Yeah, it's paying. Everything will work. So this lab, please do it many times. Very nice. So it's lab 11.5.5. 11.5.5. Any questions?
None from me, sir.
It's fine, huh?
Yeah, it's fine, sir.
Yeah, I just need to go through it again. You take your time, you do the addressing table like we did. Step by step.
So for me, you lost me there by that magic number. Like, see if you go up a little bit where you were. If you can just explain that small part only.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 64. Okay. The number of what is this thing now? Yeah, you got net 2 was the extra number because you can only have 24, then 2 was the excess number. So you lost me here when you mentioned that 64 was that magic number. I just don't understand that. If maybe you can go back only to that part.
So if we say /26, you put all your 26 ones. And because it's a class B, the first 3 blocks are for the network we don't touch, which the last block is for the host. And we check that we did borrowed 2 extra bits from the host. So if you see 1, 1, it means they have been taken to join the network portion. So if you grab something from the host, it means you divided your network in smaller networks. Then number of smaller network, 2 to the number of bit borrowed. I borrowed 2, so 2 to the power of 2. It means I have now 4 smaller networks. Now to list them, to identify them, it always starts with a 0. So in our question, this is the question, you always keep the first 3 blocks for the network, you keep it. And the very first smaller network starts with a 0. How should I find the second one? We need what we call a magic number. To find the magic number, you take where the host has been borrowed, you take this one, you put it in your table here. And you check the last one, not the first one, the last one. It's here, then it falls in 64. It means all my networks, my smaller network will be 0 plus 64 plus 64 plus 64. You see?
Okay, I get it.
Any other questions before we close? Okay, so do it again. You can do together, you can do alone. If you have questions, put in the group. So it's lab number 11.5.5. 11.5.5. Okay, guys, we'll meet again on Saturday. And we'll try to do other things for revisions. So Saturday, we'll do your packet tracer in NetAcad, the practice packet tracer. Please do it yourself so that when we start, it's easier for you to understand. And Monday, we finished the last 2 chapters. Wednesday, we continue labs. Saturday, we continue labs. Monday, labs. Then the 17th will be your final exams. The quiz first, the final exams, the quiz. And on Saturday, the 20th, is packet tracer. All at CPUT. Bring your laptop. You're not going to use it. In case we have issues, you can use the laptop. But we will use the PCs. It will be set up ready for you. You just sit, log on with your username and password in NetAcad, you start. But we never know. Just bring your laptop. You know. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your evening, and see you on Saturday, CPUT.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye, guys.